Welcome everybody. It's so good to see you. Last month was the very first monthly forum for us to meet, and it was so good. I decided I'm going to do this every month. So it's meant to be a fun time for us to share friendship, ideas, and it's also a learning time, so we all can learn from each other, make us more able to empower people to improve their health and wellness. And that also means empowering ourselves. So I'm going to give you a brief idea what we're going to do in this 1 hour. I'm going to start with introducing a few people, and then our two guest speakers, I will introduce them. They will talk about mindfulness and Tai Chi. And then I will follow up with sharing with you, teaching a few movements and to just correlate how it works with mindfulness, how we be more mindful of the mindfulness in Tai Chi. And after that, I will answer the questions that's been sent to us before this. And questions and comments. And then after that, if there's time, then I'll take any questions or comment from anybody. And then before you go, I have few questions for you. That's about what we're going to do for the hour, and we just go change as we go if we need to. First of all, I'm going to introduce Evan Wells. Evan is a choral director and a teacher, and Evan is talented in many things, and he's really good at Zoom. And he's also an instructor. So Evan's going to be the host and to run this forum. And by the way, he's my son-in-law too. So Evan might like to say a few things.
Just hi, everyone. To those of you who I've met, hi, and most of you I've never met, but I'm so happy to be here today. I'm just going to be behind the scenes mostly, just running the Zoom. But I just wanted to remind you to stay muted, unless you're called on to speak, and then also that I will be compiling questions that you might have in the chat, so that we can answer them by Dr. Lam or our guest speakers as they speak. So feel free to use the chat for that. Welcome, everyone, and thanks, Dr. Lam.
Thanks, Evan. And of course, I'd like to introduce Ernie. Everybody knows Ernie. Ernie is part of our workshop team, and she would like to say a few words.
Hello, welcome, everyone. It's great to see you. There's 126 joining the session. You'll notice up by my picture, I have added where I am from, Missouri, USA. If you would like to do the same, there's 3 little dots by your picture. If you click on the 3 little dots, the drop-down menu will say rename. Just add where you are. That's just an option if you would like to do it. Okay, welcome. Enjoy the forum.
Thank you, Ernie. And coming a long way from United Nations, from UK is Nuala. Welcome, Nuala.
Sorry, hi everybody. Great to see everybody. It's fantastic to see so many people. Rosalie from Australia and lots of friends from the US. I think I'm the only one from the everybody's in bed. So it's great to see everybody. Fantastic. Enjoy your time, and I hope to see you all again at a week-long workshop next year.
Thank you, Nuala. Thank you. In case you haven't met her yet, I think everybody who have met Nuala. She's everywhere. She come to Sydney, she go to USA, and she's such an amazing master trainer. It's so great to have your help. So Nuala and Ernie will be coordinating and chairing this meeting. And I also like to welcome everybody. So good to have you here. Special welcome to my master and senior trainer colleagues as well. Rosalie's from Australia, Jocelyn's from Atlanta, Lorraine's from New York State, and who else? Who did I miss it? Jocelyn. Yeah, I mentioned Jocelyn. Terry's. I think Terry's here.
Alexander from California.
Oh yeah, Darcy from California. I remember we went to her beautiful tour in Fresno. Okay, so we're going to start. Let me introduce our special guest speaker. They are globally known speakers, they are authors, and they are academic scholars. Ed and Melenas are also spiritual seekers. Their writing explore the depth of who we are and what is possible for our life. They apply mindfulness practice, including 30 years of daily vipassana and transcendental meditation, as well as extended silent retreats. In recent years, their daily Tai Chi practice included Sun style 73, Yang style 24 forms, and Chang style 36. I love working with them. Ed and Malena has published articles, delivered presentations on mindfulness and the power of the mind since 2002. That make it 19 years. Most recently, they released a YouTube episode, Quieting the Mind. She also write an article about that in my newsletter. I think it's a July issue, so you can see the newsletter in the Institute's website. Malena is the author of Nothing Bad Between Us, a Mennonite missionary daughter's finds healing in her brokenness. And I read the book. It's a real page turner. It's really brave for her to share her life in such an open way that I learn a lot from. And it's just so interesting. And together with Ed, they do everything together. It's just amazing. Other books, including Separately Together and Reclaiming Your Future, their new historical novel called An Epic Tale of Adventure, Romance, and Political Intrigue, based on Paraguay, South America, is now available for pre-order on Amazon, and I did pre-order that too. So you can find out more from their website, and Evan's going to write down the website on the chat. It's melenafields.com. So here, my great speakers.
We're not muted.
No, we're not.
Good. So the first time we came to a week long, we had studied long and hard with Dr. Lamb's videos, and so we knew who he was, and we were very impressed. And I came out of the dining hall, came down the steps, turned left, and here he is, walking the same direction I'm going. And I was nervous. This was the man. And so I thought, what am I going to say? I got to say something. So I turned to him to my right, and I said, "Do you meditate?" And he said, Tai Chi is meditation. We walked on in silence. Of course he was right.
Of course he was right. Dr. Lamb, we want to thank you for inviting us to be here. And all of you, it's so wonderful to be here to talk about mindfulness and to keep learning about such an important topic in today's world. So yes, Tai Chi and meditation are definitely two paths toward mindfulness, which is really focusing awareness in the present moment. It's being consciously present. And oh my gosh, is that a challenge in today's world where the monkey mind is just all over the place, and just going inside and becoming silent and becoming present is such a challenge. I know it is for me, and I think it is for many of us. In the past decade or so, mindfulness has become very popularized and it's everywhere suddenly. But the truth is, it's a pretty ancient practice. It's an ancient concept. If we think back to yoga, which goes back in India over 5,000 years, is a practice for achieving increasing mindfulness. And labyrinths, which are paths for walking meditation that leads to mindfulness, have been around since ancient Greece. So it's nothing new, but it is a continuing challenge. It's something that I think every day we are challenged to learn to better become mindful and to find practices like Tai Chi that will increase our mindfulness. So our mindfulness journey began, as Dr. Lamb said, around 20 years ago. We were both faculty members and consultants in the business arena, and we worked with healthcare organizations primarily. And what we saw was there was a lot of mindless behavior happening. So if one physician practice would establish an outpatient clinic, all of the other practices in the area would decide they needed to establish that same outpatient clinic.
Little herd behavior.
Herd behavior is what we called it in the industry. And so we began writing about ways to become more mindful and less mindless with these herd behaviors. And at the same time, we began our personal journey, actually much earlier than that. About 30 years ago, we began our own personal journey of practicing initially meditation. We practiced transcendental meditation, which is a meditation using a mantra. And we subsequently went to Vipassana and added that to our practice, which is focusing on the body and becoming very mindful of one's body. We went to silent retreats. So it's been a big part of our lives. And then when we found Tai Chi, it became our moving meditation. And so even though we still occasionally will sit on a cushion, it has become our daily practice. It is, as we have written about, a practice that isn't leading us toward mindfulness. We are mindful as we do it. So it's not us telling our minds to be mindful. It is a practice that engages us in mindfulness. And it has led to a sharper focus. It has led to quieting our minds. For Ed and me, it's been hugely important in our relationship because we're both very fiery.
Really?
No. And it has really helped us smooth out our relationship. Not to mention the many physical benefits, but of course, Dr. Lamb is the one who can best speak to that.
Yeah, let's not go near that.
We won't go near that.
But why Tai Chi for us?
Yeah.
The joy of doing it. It isn't a should each day. I got to get on that pillow. It is, I want to. Is now the time? I'm ready. I mean, we have a time each day, and it's something we look forward to. And it's much easier, as I think Marlena was alluding to, for me than it is to focus on my breath or my skin sensation or a sound or a light. It allows, the focus happens automatically. There's so many places to put the focus, as you people could say much more clearly than I, whether it's the foot on the floor, the shifting of weight, the erect posture, the breath, the hand movement, just feeling the energy as the hands go by each other. And so it draws us to be mindful, as Marlena was alluding to. Let me say one more thing about that, and I'll go back to Marlena. As some of you may know, in the late 1960s, there was a Harvard psychologist named Richard Alpert. Some of you may know him better as Baba Ram Das. And I almost cry when I say his name because he was that meaningful to me.
Still is.
Yeah, clearly still is. And he wrote a book. It's the best titled book of my lifetime. Be Here Now. Be, not do, not have, be. Here, not thinking about back there in the past or out there in the future. Here, now, not later, not doing something. It's be here now. That is a summary statement of mindfulness from my point of view. That sort of sums up mindfulness beautifully.
And just to end our very brief set of comments here at the beginning, I want to try a little exercise with you. So I want you for the next 30 seconds to not think about Ed's bald head. Don't think about it. For 30 seconds, do not think about Ed's bald head. Are you succeeding? We're almost there. We're almost at 30 seconds. Are you not thinking about it?
Hang on.
All right. So chances are you did not succeed. And the truth is, don't focus there doesn't work. We've experienced it. I'm sure you have. I think you probably did in this exercise just now. Don't doesn't work. What does work so well is what Tai Chi does for us, which is to just very naturally and joyfully bring our focus to the present moment rather than focusing on all those other things that we don't want to focus on. So we'll end with that for now and look forward to the rest of this conversation.